Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today we're attempting the impossible, which is to create a Bruno Mars track from scratch. You guys will get the project files for free if you go to BusyWorksBeats.com/FL Studio. Here are the chords mapped out for you guys. So we have it here, and we're going to play them with rhythm. Now that chord sounds weird by itself, but when you play it with rhythm, it sounds cool. So I'm going to play it with my keyboard. I'm on a Chord Chrono, so you guys can get all the project files so you don't have to worry about this. But playing it by hand is going to give you more variety over time without having to memorize it. The only tough part is like getting started with that first chord because it's in a weird spot. Okay, so we are in the key of E flat minor, it looks like. Using a lot of black notes, which is very R&B. So let's record this in. Actually, before we start doing the music, let's do the drums real quick. Now, I might forget the music, so hopefully I don't forget. So they use a lot of like trap drums in that record from what I remember. We're not trying to recreate the record, we're trying to do our own thing. But it's like boom, boom, I remember that part. So it's like 134 BPM. So it's boom, boom. Okay, so let's at least get the kick timing right. So it's boom, snare, boom. And I think there's like a little ghost snare, so it goes boom, boom, like that. So let's turn the velocity down. We could use harder snares, but for now we just need a simple rhythm. Now let's look for some kind of hi-hats in here. So let's use this one. We don't need to be particular here. Let's just right click, fill each two steps. Now we need some kind of percussion just to kind of offset that hi-hat. Best to use like a tambourine, some kind of shimmery type percussion, not like a wooden or a mallet type of percussion. Again, we're not getting into like every little tiny detail. But here we're going to chop up these tom drums. We're going to right click, open up slice. If yours doesn't auto slice, we're going to go to this icon here, where it says medium auto slicing, hit that one. And now we can basically create a little tom roll. Let's see, let's add this in. Let's go to the song mode, hit Control B to latch paste. Okay, and then at the end here, let's go to pattern 4, and we're going to create like a little tom roll where it goes do 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 do. So it's 1 2 3. Now again, this does not need to be perfect. It's probably a little aggressive. It's more like pop. Let's hear it. Let's add a couple more kicks in here just to spice it up. So boom, dum, boom, like that. Just adding that in. Okay, just switching it up so it's not the same thing repeating. And again, you want to look for tambourines and all types of stuff. We'll do all the embellishment at the end. We really need to get these chords down. So again, here is the chord map for you guys. But again, I would recommend you guys, if you can, play it by hand. So these are all the chords we're going to use today. So again, D sharp, minor 9. And we have all the black keys. And we're just dropping the black Ds down. Oops. So yeah, that's what I get for not practicing. All right, let's record those. I might mess up, you never know. So let's record a long take here. I'm probably going to save the chord fall to the end because that's going to take the most practice and I don't want to eat up a lot of time producing and losing the energy. So we got the main chords and let's label this as chords. Double click, hit Control L, send it to its own mixer. So now we need all the background stuff. So whenever you're not sure what to add, always remember that songs have 4 layers: the rhythm section, the harmony section, the top line, and the contrast section. So whenever you're like struggling to figure out which sound, think of these buckets first, and then you can always change the sounds in the bucket. So for example, we already have the harmony because we played the chords. We already have the rhythm because we played the drums. And now we can add top line, which is usually 1 octave higher than your, let's see here. So if I added an octave higher, I'm just playing random notes, but you see how it's an octave higher, so it stands out from the rest of the harmony. And then we can move to the contrast layer. I think we should do the bass first. Contrast does not always mean low frequency. It just means different than what the top line is doing. But let's start with the bass first because I want to find a funk bass. All right, so I love this keyboard because it has so many sounds in here. So I'm gonna go down. Somehow I gotta get. All right, so 1. So the tricky part is like figuring out which note you're gonna land on the next turn. So I'm just gonna freestyle with the bass. Again, that's why the harmony layer is so important, because the bass notes are coming from the harmony. The question is like, which intervals am I using? That's the tricky part. So there's no right or wrong thing. So in this case, I'm using 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're just playing the tonic, the 5th, and then I'm going up to the octave. So that's how I'm getting that sound. It's the same. Let me draw this out for you guys real quick. So I'm playing the bass. I'm just playing the bass, count up 7 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, A sharp. So it gives you the next note to move to. And then all I'm doing is doing a glissando back up to D sharp an octave higher. So that's how I'm getting that sound. So let's see if that works. So with bass, you could also get away with half steps. Let's just hear it in context though. See, my brain was already thinking too much. I got to do it again. My brain on that turnaround, it throws me off every single time. So I got to do that again. Okay, so I do want like a something at the end to make it kind of close out. Let's delay the hi-hat a little bit. So I want to go like something like that. Let's do something like, I feel like it needs like an ending. Now I'm just going down the scale. Okay, so we're just going up and down the scale at the end there to wrap it up. So that technique of using the tonic, going to the fifth, using the octave, coming back down, it works a lot, especially with this improv stuff. So where I'm not thinking too hard during the bass line, it's just using those fifths. Let's route all this stuff. It needs a little more energy in the rhythm section. So that's where more percussion is going to come into play. And I think they were using like trap drums. So we got to find. Let's add a snare here. New range. Got no. So 1, 2. So let's do 1, 2. We just need like tambourines and stuff. I don't even know where to get a tambourine. So that's going to take some time. So now we need a top line here. So I'm gonna let's add a bell or something. We're gonna keep the top line simple. I'm just gonna repeat that and let the chords do all the movement. We're just playing octaves here. Notice the chords keep the track moving. So we could make that more complex, but I think the top line needs to be the easiest thing to remember. If anything, you want to make it rhythmic. In that case, a bell, we didn't want it. We already have the rhythm going with the chords. Let's see what else we can add underneath. It's a little thin. So now I'm adding those 80 sounds. I might change it up on this one actually, because I'm starting to realize that bass energy kind of controls the melody at the top. So I just changed that bottom note. So if you guys want a synth that is like perfect for this genre, like funk, it's called the Prophet 08. It's in my closet right now. I don't have time to plug it up and everything, but that synth is perfect for this like funk sound. It has all the perfect presets for funk. So now I got to go through and look for like top line stuff that sounds like the 80s and the 70s. And we're going to thicken up the harmony. It's a little thin. Let's add something in here. So I'm looking for a synth that we can layer with that chord. Something like brassy probably. think I found the sound here. All right, so luckily I remember the chords. It goes like this. All right, let's record that. Hopefully I get this right so we don't have to keep doing it. All right, so we probably could use a synth that's a little more explosive on the sound, but again, the Prophet Await is more proper for this. So now let's find, we got to find percussion that we can stack in here. Let's turn this stuff down. It's getting a little loud. All right, let's see if we can find a tambourine. I'm trying to think, who would even have a tambourine? Tambourines are so like ancient, but let's see, maybe the 90s kits. I don't even know what these are. Let's see, tambourine. Who would have a tambourine? Tambourine, maybe a Dr. Dre kit or something. Let's open that up. It's a little long though for a tambourine. Okay. Of course, when I need a simple tambourine, every tambourine's like. All right. If I don't find one though, we're not gonna like. There we go. Goodness. NWA tambourine for the win. Let's go. Tambourines are very like 90s. They didn't really use hi-hats as much. They used tambourines. This one's very aggressive though. It's a very aggressive tambourine. So let's just do 10, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 1. Dun, 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 dun. So just simple, nothing crazy with the tambourine, but we just need it in the mix for the highs. It's probably a little basic, but hey. So now we need like filler for the groove. So this could be bass, it could be a low synth. We just need more sounds to fill out the sound. We could probably thicken up the harmony a little bit more too. Let me see what happens if I play these long. Let's 1, 2. I think that's a nice change up. That's just my ear. I know they don't do that in the real song, but I like that kind of sound. Now let's record that in. It's just nice, like a pad. Darn, I forgot to keep the... Probably should have started at the beginning. Let's do that one more time, but starting from the beginning, that way we have room. Just in case we mess up. Again, you guys will get all the project files at busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. I'm going to leave a link below, so don't worry. All right. Let's do this again. So it's D, 1, 2, 3. to have it. All right, so now we have that audio. We could always use that for like a breakdown. I'm not going to use it in this part because it takes away from the groove, but that's a great way to build up breakdowns, is to simply, like if I'm playing staccato chords, like stabby chords, I'll play sustained chords of the same exact thing. So let's call it chord sustain. And that way for like a breakdown, we can have the same exact chord progression, but this time it'll be like a different style. Just to show you guys what that would sound like. Let's pull it over here. So now it gives a different vibe because the chords aren't the rhythmic thing. It's a different vibe. So let's build up section A and section B. So here's where you get to freestyle as a creator. Now that you have the harmony locked in, we have the bass locked in. This should be technically down here. This is technically contrast. So we have the bass locked in. Now we have the top line. I forgot to move this stuff up. Let's insert a track, call this top line. Boom. Smooth these up. Hit shift up to do that. So we have the rhythm section. We have the harmony, which is the chords. And then we have the top line and then the contrast. So we have all the main ingredients. Now it's just about stacking and coming up with creative changes over time. So now that we have everything, now it's just a matter of adding more changes. So that's why I said, think of it in 4 buckets. Like it's, when you look at a project and it has 150 tracks, it looks chaotic. But if you narrow it down to 4 categories, it makes it look a little bit more easy to comprehend. So let's try to maybe layer the bass. I don't know what we're gonna do for the bass because I forgot some of the notes. Kind of remember the bass, but there's a change that's a part that I forgot. Let me also get the right tone bass. So I kind of want to switch up the bass, but I kind of don't at the same time. Let's see what this would sound like without that bass. I think that bass is so Moog sounding that it fits this vibe, but let's try just a different bass. I don't know how I feel about these other basses. They're a little... We might find one that fits. Yeah, this one's definitely it. I don't even know if this is the same patch. I have no idea, but I'm just going to record the bass again. for the second part. Doing the same thing. It's the root note, fifth up, which is 7 notes up, and then glide your way into the root note again, up an octave. That's what gives it that. Here we're doing half step, one note to the next. That's what creates that bluesy sound. Let's record one. So yeah, 1, 2. So let's see what that sounds like. I think it's the same bass, literally. I can't tell. No, it's different. A little bitier. Now that was a mistake. That was a mistake. My finger got stuck. But it sounds cool, so we're gonna keep it. That was rushed a little bit, so I'm gonna move that over. Hitting Shift Alt, left click to do a slice. Just gonna grab it with the pencil tool and just nudge it a little to the right. Let's hit Alt, just nudge it a little bit. So I want to add like little glide, like just little stuff like that. This is unnecessary. I want to do that on this. Let me see where I can even fit that in. Just trying to fit in spots. There we go. Damn. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add like weird little quirky little things. Bam. Just weird stuff. All right. I messed up right there. Alright, some parts are were just sucky. Okay, let's figure out. I like that part, but it goes. It kind of overlaps, so I got to figure out where it overlaps. That was supposed to be like, but it's hard to hear, so it slurs. It goes. We're gonna keep it though. So I'm just gonna visually see where it overlaps. It overlaps right at this point, so I'm gonna cut it right there and just cut the rest out. I kind of like that. So again, some of these are mistakes, but it sounded cool. These are kind of dope. At first when I played it, I was like, no, but now I like it. Now that was just a plain old mistake. So I like that like extra bass kind of expressive layer. I think a lot of you guys, when you're trying to figure out what to add, it's just you need to add expression. Okay, like stuff that's just over the top hyperbolic movement. That's what will catch the ear. Okay, so we have, make sure everything's lined up. So we got to find more 80 sounds, and I think we have everything. right, so I'm gonna do a crazy thing, which is just super unorthodox. I'm gonna layer 2 different basses. So we need 1, 2, 3. We need 3 tracks here. So this may or may not work, but might as well try it. All right, so I'm gonna copy the bass over here. Wait a second. Boom, boom. The reason I'm doing this is to thicken up the bass because it's a little thin, that first bass I had. But I like the sound, and it looks like we can layer these. But let's see. Okay, so now I just need little leads and stuff to wrap around. So now we have that groove. The best place to layer stuff, in my opinion, is at the end of stuff. So like when it goes down, you could do that with a lot of different instruments. Let's record that in. So now I'm adding filler. Okay, so it's subtle, but it adds to the greater like bigness of the sound. So let's call this like synth. So now I'm adding filler stuff. I'll just call this filler, even though it's technically not a category, but. All right, so all we gotta do is no, we're just going down the scale. I'm just gonna pick different synths. There's no rhyme or reason to it. All right, so I think we have enough synths. We could add like 10 more, but I'm not gonna waste time here. Yeah, that one was different because it has like a tail to it. It goes and it keeps going. So some synths are short, some are long. We're just stacking them up. And you guys can, if you want more width to your track, pan some synth, this is a tongue twister, pan some synths to the left, pan some synths to the right. And you can create a wide sound that way. So I'm gonna save that one for the ending. It has that tail to it. It's a nice transition. So far so good. So now we just need like 80s type sounds in here. Like maybe rhythmic guitar. That's the one thing I forgot. So that's a very 80s sound. It's like shimmery, so it's not like super in the front. So we're just playing like a countermelon. Hold up. It's hard to hear. I bet my finger slipped. It's like a bell pad because it's kind of like holding tones. So I'll keep that one for like atmospheric bell. Atmosphere. It could be a little more pronounced transient wise, but I don't want the bell to stand out. I just want it to be like a subconscious melody going. See what kind of percussion we could add. We're gonna do Trecio with this, ta, 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 but instead of the first ta, we're just gonna leave it out. So it goes blank, ta, ta, blank, ta, ta. And then we'll use the timbale to do the second half. So super basic rhythm, but Trecio always works. Rhythm, let's add this in. Debating if I want that tap tap, because now it's changing up the rhythm, but we have to go back to the tambourine because it goes one, it doesn't go boom ta ta, it goes one ta ta. So that's why you got to understand the pockets of stuff, because one thing can throw off everything else. So let's do one ta ta. Now it's more tresillo bounce to it. I like it. Sound like a dong. Okay, I just picked a random sound. That's what I get for picking a random sound. Let's just add random stuff. I don't know if I like this extra rhythm layer. It's not adding much. Let's keep it where it was. Let's change up the tambourine. So it just shows how like one small change in the rhythm can change everything. So we're gonna get 1, 2, 2 like that. I'm not gonna do tresillo. For this rhythm, it's not bouncing with the track. Trying to think of anything else we could add. I think it just needs vocals and harmonies at this point. We've done the impossible. All right, let's let this rock. All right, guys, let's play this twice through. All right, you guys will get the project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. Thanks for stopping in, and subscribe if you're new. If you want to learn music theory, go to busyworksbeats.com/music theory essentials. If you want to learn beat making, go to busyworksbeats.com/beatmagic, where I guide you through beat making. There's a free beat maker course too at busyworksbeats.com/betterbeatmaker. But the main course you guys want to study is the music theory stuff. Go to busyworksbeats.com/music theory essentials. I'll leave a link below. Peace out, guys.